Welcome to Simply Happy Conversations, a podcast that teaches you how to create a clutter-free, functional and simply happy life. I'm Narelle King, a professional organiser who supports families with practical steps to simplify their lives and create a more organised home. I'm passionate about supporting neurodivergent families and individuals like myself. We're at the tail end of winter here in Australia, and I've just had this pull to rest in the last yin energy of winter. So creating this podcast each week takes a lot of time and energy. So I've decided to re-release 3 of the most downloaded episodes just to give me a break so that I have the space, time and energy to create a series with a focus on ADHD and organisation, which is the most downloaded topics from all 3 years of the podcast. So when you walk through your front door, does your space feel calm or does it create stress? Household clutter can fuel anxiety, fatigue, and even rise your cortisol levels. It often takes less energy to set up and maintain a simple organizational system than it is to manage the mess every day. Once clutter is out of sight, it's usually out of mind and your brain can finally breathe. In this re-released episode, I'm sharing 6 practical tips to lighten your mental load, keep only what you need, make planning a weekly habit, and write things down, how to build supportive routines and rituals, and give everything a home. We'll also talk about rest and maintenance so your home can stay clearer. Grab a notebook and a donation bag, and let's jump into this Simply Happy conversation. So in today's episode, I am sharing 6 tips that will help you to reduce your mental load. These are things that I do in my life or I share with clients that I work with around developing organizational strategies in their home. So I hope by sharing these that you could then find one that resonates with you so that you can feel less overwhelmed and be able to do the things that you really want to do in your life rather than feeling overwhelmed with everything else. So clutter, we'll start with household clutter. It causes a lot of stress, anxiety and fatigue. And there's so many studies that have shown that it increases cortisol in people with more clutter. So cortisol is our stress hormone, and if we have too much of it, it causes other health issues. So by actually reducing the clutter, developing some organizational systems, it actually will help to reduce the clutter in our mind as well as in our home. So once it's out, this clutter is out of sight, it can sort of stay out of our mind. So let's start with these 6 tips. My number 1 tip is keeping only what you need. So by having fewer things in your home, you are able to then enjoy the things that you do have in your home. I'm sure there's a cupboard in your home that has got a lot of things just piled on top of each other. And if I asked you to find one thing, maybe it's something to do with sewing. Like, yeah, sure, it's in that cupboard, but you'd have to pull everything out to get to it. And then if I asked you some questions around why you have the laminator, why you have this, why you have that, you could then answer those questions about why it's possibly there. It might be that you're holding on to it because you may need it in the future. And what we want to do is look at all of the things in our home. Maybe we don't need it all there right now. Some of it could be maybe placed out in a shed, or it may be able to move out of your home because it's around that fear of one day I might need that. And I suppose it's looking at what's more important, having a little bit more space in your home and that whole feeling less stressed, or is it that we can go out and actually get it or maybe borrow it from somebody else? So my tip for decluttering is, well, obviously if it's too much, is getting a professional organizer in like myself who can help you. But my other thing, if you'd like to do it yourself, is to start small. So deciding on a drawer within your home, something that doesn't have emotional connection. So I wouldn't start with my clothes or your toys or your kids' clothes possibly. It might be something like cutlery or your bathroom drawers that you maybe don't have as much emotional connection to. A app that I really love using and recommending to other people is Toss. So this app it gives you a reminder every day of a particular area that you can go and declutter. So today's was around my socks. It's suggested to go and declutter my sock drawer, throw out any old socks, pair up socks, and socks that maybe I haven't worn for a year, maybe move them on. One thing to also remember, though, is around recycling and donating our items that we do want to move and declutter from our home. Obviously, there's op shops that will take our donations. And another great place that I use with clients is a dog's or a pet's rehoming place in our area. It's called Gauze, and I will take our spare doonas, towels, sheets, not elastic sheets. They just take the top sheet. But these are great things that you can take and they will rehome those items. There's also places that will take your clothing back to also recycle those as well. So I know for our socks last year, we bagged them all up in a bag and sent it back, and I will share in the show notes the actual business name. I can't think of it right now. It's a sock and underwear company based here in Australia. Number 2, planning is ongoing. So finding time every week to organize and plan. Even it's just that time when you're going to add things to your weekly routine. So I do mine on a Sunday, just because it's the end of the week and start of the new week. So we have 2 things. We have a command center because my children are still at primary school and they're very visual. They can see this. It's on the side of our fridge. It takes up a whole sort of wall area, and it has broken up each person's name and each day of the week. This works really well because everybody then is on the same page at the beginning of the week. My children can also see when my husband is not going to be working from home, but is in the office, and for myself as well. The other planning that I do is placing it in a family shared app. I love Life Sorted. So if you want to know more about Life Sorted, go back to episode 4 where I interviewed Joe, the app designer. The other one is I still like a physical diary. So I have a physical diary that I write down my work for myself. It's like finding whatever's going to work for you, whether it's digital or whether it's paper, and making sure that everybody is on the same page. Number 3 is writing things down. If we just leave it for our brain to remember everything, we're going to get reminders at any time throughout the day or night. So David Allen is where I heard all about the brain and how it is really important to write things down. He has a book called Getting Things Done. So if we are continually trying to remember everything in our brain, it's not designed for that. It's designed for thinking and being creative. You will be reminded of something maybe at 2:00 in the morning, maybe at 4:00 in the morning, and it's disrupting your sleep. So it might be, don't forget to text that friend back at 2:00 in the morning. We don't need to remember that. But if we had written that down or just done it straight away, if it's less than a 2-minute job, then our brain is not going to have to continually remind us of those things. I like to write lists with context. This is one of the things that David Allen shares. Context means it's giving a verb. So the action is a verb. So in my diary, I have it broken up with call, email, errands, and things around the home. So jobs that you might need to do. You might have 5, you might only have 3, but look at what it is, the action that you need to do, and then just creating your to-do list with that. Another great idea is to have a notebook beside your bed that if you do wake up at a ridiculous time in the morning, you can write that down. It will then take that pressure off your brain having to remind you again. It's like happy that you've now written it down somewhere. It won't need to remind you. Number 4 is routines and rituals. So routines are a series of steps to get something done. For example, getting the kids out in the morning to school on time. Maybe it's getting your exercise in the morning. A ritual is a series of steps, but the outcome is more about the feeling. So a great example is rituals are things that we do around Christmas time. So you might have, before putting up the Christmas tree, it might be going and getting the Christmas tree together, coming home, maybe you make gingerbread, maybe you play Christmas music and you all put it up together, or someone puts the lights on and you have designated jobs. But that is like a ritual. It's not a set time that you're doing it. It's around Christmas time, but it might change from year to year. Another ritual might be around your bedtime. So it's steps that you'll do, but it's not necessarily at the same time every day, like a routine. So for myself, a routine that I have is around my exercise. I exercise 3 mornings a week at the gym, and I leave at the same time. My clothes are set up. I do the same thing, grab my drink bottle, jump in the car and drive. On the other 2 mornings, I walk the dog and I get up at the same time again. And my dog even knows the routine. She won't even move on the other 3 days, but on those 2 days, as soon as I get up, and I wear my sneakers all 5 days. So it's not about the sneakers. She just knows that that day is her walk day. And she'll be rushing up to the front door to wait while I get ready. So try and think about areas of your week where you could develop some routines or rituals, maybe around chores, maybe it's around errands that you do around your fitness, or maybe around socialization, or of course around your children. Number 5 is everything has a home. So it's so easy to get lost if you don't have a home. Everything in your home needs to have its own small space, and we just call it a home as well for that item. I'm going to share a fork. The fork example, I heard it a really long time ago when I started organizing, and I think it works really well. I share it with clients all the time. Imagine if I gave you a fork right now. You went into your kitchen, you would know exactly where to put that fork. Even your children would be able to go and put that fork back where it belongs. So we want that to happen for every item in our home. I have clients I work with all the time where I might find batteries in several places in their home, and I'll be like, okay, so where is our home for our batteries? There's no set home. So we create a place where the batteries are going to go, and everybody in the house is going to know where the batteries are to go and get them, but put them there when they've bought them from shopping. So it's creating homes for everything. It helps us to save us time, but definitely the mental load. You're not trying to think, where do I have to go and put this? And creating more clutter because it's just put in a random spot, a random drawer or cupboard. It's, I know where it goes, you put it straight back there, and you then know where to go to get it when you're needing that particular item. It also helps with kids in your home, being able to give them responsibility because they're able to go and find that item and maybe do something really independently by themselves. Number 6 is share the load. So practicing delegating tasks from your to-do list to others in your family will help to create responsibilities for everyone in the family. I know for our family, in January, my kids choose a new job to add to their list of chores that they do to help out in the house. I have a list of jobs, or I quite easily can come up with a list of jobs, and I let them choose the one that they'd like to do. Even for my husband and I, we sort of have areas in the management of our house that we prefer to do or play to our strengths. So I'm the one who would do all the calendar things and make sure that all the appointments, especially for the kids and myself, are in there, and he knows where we're going and what time and everything that he needs to do, whereas he will look after all the finances in our home. That is definitely not my area of expertise, and I'll leave that to him to do. It's looking at the things that you have strengths around, but sharing it out. I know when I was first, became a mother, entered motherhood, I was doing way too much. And then when I started to share the load with my husband, and then now as my kids have got older throughout them, it's definitely helped to reduce my mental load. I was doing it to have that sense of value myself, whereas now that I've worked on that, I can actually share some of the other things on my to-do list to make things just a little bit easier in my life, and also give everyone else that ownership of our house as well. So I hope by me sharing tips around mental load and reducing your mental load that you'll be able to feel less overwhelmed and have more time. I'll just quickly go through them, the 6, just to rehash before I finish up. So number 1 was keeping only what you need. So it's reducing the clutter that's in your home. Number 2 was planning is ongoing. So making sure that you organize and plan things at some stage through your week. Number 3 was write things down. So finding a way to collect all your thoughts. Maybe it is using a list with context. Number 4 was routines and rituals. So looking at your things that you do regularly throughout your week and making them into a routine or a ritual for yourself. Number 5, everything has a home. Remembering if you don't have a home, it's really hard to get lost. So we want everything to go back where it needs to go within your home. And number 6 was share the load. So delegating tasks to other people in your family. Maybe it's even not family, it's extended members of the community in your life. Maybe it's friends, especially if you're a single parent and you've got people close by. It's using those people in your life. I would suggest only choosing one that you'd like to start with or focus on for a bit. And then once you've got that under control, you might like to then add one other. So look at the one that resonates with you the most. For more tips to help you manage the juggle, grab my 6-minute audio guide that you can listen to while walking, driving, or cleaning the house. It's these, but just a really short snippet, and you also receive a downloadable checklist that will also help you to implement these throughout your life. So thanks for listening to Simply Happy Conversations. Thank you for joining me for today's Simply Happy Conversation. Is your family's paperwork piling up and taking over your kitchen bench? Do you waste hours searching through piles of paper clutter, looking for documents and reminder notices? Our comprehensive guide walks you through each step to help you effectively organise your paperwork and provide simple solutions to digitalize your administration processes to reduce paper clutter. Head to simplyhappy.com.au to the resource tab to get instant access today. I'd like to acknowledge the Wathaurong people of the Kulin Nation on which this podcast is recorded as the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging.